All right, let's talk about getting unstuck. You know those moments when you feel like you've just slammed into a brick wall and have no idea what to do next? Well, that's what we're digging into today.
You know, it often boils down to a single feeling. Our source material actually sums it up in just 4 words: overwhelmed and can't cope. Wow, I mean, that's powerful, right? And let's be honest, it's a super common reason why people start looking for a change. Does that sound familiar? That feeling of everything just piling on top of you until you can't even figure out where to start? Yeah.
So let's really get into that overwhelmed feeling. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Sometimes when you go looking for help, you end up feeling even more stuck. Why is that? What is that wall made of? A lot of the time, it's just jargon. The whole world of self-improvement and psychology can feel like this exclusive club, with all this complicated academic language that makes absolutely no sense unless you're a specialist. It's like it builds a barrier right when what you really need is a bridge. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? How do we find a way through all that noise? A guide that gives you clear, practical advice that actually helps, instead of just making you more confused. And that is exactly where this resource we're talking about today comes into play. It's called The Psychologist's Guide to Personal Enhancement. And really, it's designed to be the key to unlock that door, to completely break down that barrier of confusion we were just discussing.
So what is this guide really? At its heart, it's all about one thing: making real psychological guidance practical. It's meant to be a tool, not some heavy textbook, something you can actually pick up and use to make a real difference. Okay, but the really cool part is how it does this. How does it make all this stuff so accessible? Well, it's all about demystifying psychology, taking the mystery out of the very ideas that are supposed to help us in the first place. The strategy is actually pretty simple. It's all about translation. Just think of it like that bridge we talked about. It takes all those super complex ideas from the academic world and brings them into our everyday lives. It turns that feeling of, what on earth does that mean, into an aha moment of clarity.
So let's break down the core principle here. First off, the insights are legit. They come from a real psychologist, so you know it's not just some random advice from the internet. Second, all that expert info is deliberately made easy to understand. All the jargon is stripped away. And finally, and this is the big one, those two things come together to make an approachable tool, something you can actually use, not just another book collecting dust on your shelf.
All right, this brings us to the most important part. How do we get from insight to action? How does this stuff jump off the page and into your actual life? Because that's the whole point, isn't it?
And this really gets to the core of it. The goal isn't just to understand things, it's to do things. Understanding is just step 1. The real win is applying that knowledge and actually making a tangible difference.
So how does it do that? It lays out a super simple 3-step process. Step 1, you get that psychological insight, that aha moment. Step 2, you get clear, easy-to-follow instructions for what to do next. And step 3, and this is so crucial, you learn how to apply it all to your specific personal situation. That's what makes it work. So what does all this mean for you? Well, it means you can finally stop feeling confused by all the complicated terms. It means you get access to professional-level guidance. And most of all, it gives you a clear path forward, a way to actually enhance your personal state and feel more in control.
And that brings us right to the end here, and a final thought I want to leave you with. Imagine you had this tool, right now, a clear, simple way to start. What's the one thing, the very first thing, you'd want to enhance?